We're going to learn about how to use Audacity here, and I'm going to go ahead and use it with one of the online books that we are going to do recordings on. It's called Blown to Bits. So I'm going to go ahead and make this larger so we can see it. It's called Blown to Bits, Your Life, Liberty, and Happiness After the Digital Explosion. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and record is it's going to be from Chapter 1, Digital Explosions, Why It Is Happening, and What Is at Stake. And when I refer to a page number, I'm talking about the PDF page number, not the page number that you see right here. So this says 1, but when I refer to it, I'm looking at the 4 up here. On September 19th, 2007, while driving alone near Seattle on her way to work, Tanya Ryder went off the road and crashed into a ravine. For 8 days, she was trapped upside down in the wreckage of her car. Severely dehydrated and suffering from injuries to her leg and shoulder, she nearly died of kidney failure. Fortunately, rescuers ultimately found her. She spent months recuperating in a medical facility. Happily, she was able to go home for Christmas. Tanya's story is not just about a woman, an accident, and a rescue. It is a story about bits, the zeros and ones that make up all our cell phone conversations, bank records, and everything else that gets communicated or stored using modern electronics. Tanya was found because cell phone companies keep records of cell phone locations. When you carry your cell phone, it regularly sends out a digital ping a few times conveying "Here I am" message. Your phone keeps pinging as long as it remains turned on. Nearby cell phone towers pick up the pings and send them on to your cellular service provider. Your cell phone company uses the pings to direct your incoming calls to the right cell phone tower. Tanya's cell phone company, Verizon, still had a record of the last location of her cell phone, even after the phone had gone dead. That is how the police found her. So why did it take more than a week? If a woman disappears, her husband can't just make the police find her by tracing her cell phone records. She has a privacy right. And maybe she has good reason to leave town without telling her husband where she is going. Your secret passcode for this particular passage is Quiver. Quiver. You need to remember this when you record it and you're going to drop it off. You need to add it to the comments so that I know that you listen to my video reciting the particular pages. Now let's continue. Tanya's case, her bank account showed some activity, more bits, after her disappearance, and the police could not classify her as a missing person. In fact, that activity was by her husband. Through some misunderstanding, the police thought he did not have access to the account. Only when the police suspected Tanya's husband of involvement in her disappearance did they have legal access to the cell phone records. Had they continued to act on the true presumption that he was blameless, Tanya might never have been found. New technologies interact in an odd way with evolving standards of privacy, telecommunication, and criminal law. The explosive combination almost cost Tanya Ryder her life. Her story is dramatic, but every day we encounter unexpected consequences of data flows that could not have happened a few years ago. When you have finished reading this book, you should see the world in a different way. You should hear a story from a friend or on a newscast and say to yourself, that's really a bit story. Even if no one mentions anything digital, the movement of physical objects and the actions of flesh and blood human beings are only the surface. To understand what is really going on, you have to see the virtual world, the eerie flow of bits steering the events of life. This book is your guide to this world.